Buying the wrong shoe can be the difference between you being a famous millionaire or just some average Joe that peaked in high school. And the craziest part is, I'm not even exaggerating about this.
Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white Vans. Spicy, man.
Imagine the multiverse back in 2016 if Daniel didn't buy those white Vans. That is life-changing right there. That is the power of the white sneaker. Now everybody's always yapping, oh, white sneakers, all white shoes, but what actually is the best white shoe? Well, in this video, we're gonna be finding the best white sneaker, science-based by the way, how to get it, and we're gonna be ranking the top 17 trendiest sneakers right now. And by the way, the answer might surprise you because it's actually the secret to leveling up your style that nobody talks about. As you can see, we got all the sneakers right here, all their friendly faces. Let's start off with a banger, the Sambas. Now let me tell you guys a little something about the Sambas. Oh, I used to work at a golf course, right? I would be cleaning the carts, we would be bumping music as we're cleaning the carts, and one day I was playing 90s hip-hop type vibe, No Eyes, Mind playing tricks on me, and then Kendrick Lamar, Money Trees came on. And the kid I was working with had the audacity to say, yo, isn't this a TikTok song?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
You have to understand here that these types of shoes are pretty much like TikTok music. It's so cool and trendy when you first hear it. No one knows about it. It's so niche. You feel like the coolest guy listening to it. You're like, damn, I just discovered a banger. And then
1 week later,
you hear it on TikTok.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
That really is the worst, that it ruins it. And that's what happened to Samba. It's happened to some other shoes on this list. But, and since we're talking about the best white sneaker, the top echelon, the top 1%, high value man, Sigma male type white sneaker, we gotta take into account the social status of these shoes. So with that being said, Sambas, great shoe, a little too mainstream to be at the top. We're gonna leave it in the B tier. Next up, let's go with the Air Force Ones now. The Air Force Ones, I'm sorry to tell you guys this. I know they're an OG classic shoe, but if you wear the Air Force Ones, you probably have no personality. If you listen to Rap Caviar on Spotify, most likely have the broccoli haircut. Because, I mean, you have to consider everything here. The shoe, it's a good shoe. It gives you plus 2 inches of height, but you have to think about it. The skill cap here is not that high. It's kind of mid. With that being said, C tier. Next up, let's talk about Converse, the Chuck Taylors. Now, the Chuck Taylors, this is your wild card here. This is your joker in the deck. If you're wearing the Chuck Taylors, you're either a 13-year-old girl or you got Lucas Abbat 2018, 2017, 2019 type drip level, type power level. There's really no in between. The Chuck Taylors, they're an OG classic. They're beautiful. They're so skinny. They're so sleek. With that being said, they're also not too rare. Gotta put it top of B tier.
Run that back, Turbo.
Hold up. We gotta get some of these out of the way real quick. Dunks, Panda Dunks. Mid! Next up, let's talk about the Reebok Club C 85 vintage. For these ones, the trendiness is kind of on the rise right now. I did used to sleep on these. I was like, what, Reebok? Reebok was on the same tier as like Puma and all the other ones. They're down below. Under Armour, all of those type brands. Because for clothing and shoes, Nike and Adidas have reigned supreme. The Genghis Khan, the Alexander the Great of shoes, bro. All the other minor leagues, Puma, Reebok, Asics was down there for a while. New Balance was also down there for a while. But now they've risen to the top. Will Reebok be next? But with this shoe, I will say, they are a solid pick right now, and the trendiness isn't too high. So you're not going to be every other guy in the room who's wearing this. I do like them. I might have to put them in the A tier. Just for now. We'll see. Alright, now we got the Nike Blazers. Now, I'm not going to lie, the Nike Blazers have always given me kind of like an NPC type of vibes. I know some of you guys aren't going to like that, but it's just like no personality gym guy shoe. I just don't know how to explain it. I feel like the people who wear this shoe are soulless. Like they have no personality. I'm going to put it top of C right now because we going to see if there's room for improvement.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Let's talk about the Adidas Superstars. This shoe is the OG thought shoe. Back in 6th grade, this shoe is the OG thought shoe. This is the Air Force One before the Air Force One, the Panda Dunk before the Panda Dunk, the Sambas before the Sambas. It's like the perfect medium between chunky and slim. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think some of the shoes out there right now have a little more personality, but I like them. Middle of B tier. We also got to get it out of the way. Jordans. Now, to be honest, If you're buying Jordans, why would you buy them white? Why would you buy them all white? Jordans are kind of like hype, stunting white shoes. So if you're gonna get Jordans, you don't get them white, bro. This is very kiss or slap at the mall type energy. They don't have that social power they once did. That's why they're gonna be dungeon tier. Along with that, the Yeezy Zebras, whatever Yeezys.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
I feel like I don't have to explain myself about this one. Just right there. All right, now let's talk about Asics. Now, Asics have been on the trending rise for the past few years. Though I've been throwing out some heat, I used to think like, damn, Asics were kind of on the lower social class. Like, my mom would wear them when she runs. It was one of those types of shoes when your mom would wear them. And to be honest, I like it. It looks sick. It's a different type of silhouette, different from most of the other ones on the list. I'm gonna have to put it top of A tier. Right behind that though is the New Balances, just all the trendy New Balances. I got the pictures of the 550s right here. Now the only reason I have to put these in the B tier, even though they're basically the same thing as the Asics, it's just because the 550 wave on TikTok.
Here are some sneakers that died in 2023. To start, we got the New Balance 550.
It was just too much mainstream brain rot for me. I'm not gonna lie. These two are basically the same though, honestly. It's like years ago when you chose your Pokemon Go team, they're basically the same. You're just picking one. Harsh or bad, don't have to explain it anymore. All right, now let's talk about white Vans. White Vans 10 years ago were the it shoe, were the banging shoe. They were fire, but now all the other shoes have leveled up and the white Vans kind of lack some personality. All these other shoes have so much more personality than the white Vans, so much more storyline. With Vans, you can only get so far. They haven't really made any new cool silhouettes lately, so it's like Vans bottom of C tier. Boring! Next up, we got the clogs. You need to get some clogs, some sandals, some slippers in your shoe rotation somehow this summer. But the thing is, do not get them white. That's the reason I had to add them on the list, because they're not sneakers, but they are fire. They do have a place in your rotation. Also, don't get the Birkenstock Bostons. There's got to be some more out there. Gonna have to be C tier because of that reason. Next up, Stan Smiths. You know, I really don't have much to say about these ones. These ones are the OGs. They're classics. They're timeless. If you get the ones with real leather, these are a top tier shoe. You can't go wrong. Gonna have to put in the A tier, and honestly, they're kind of on the same level as Reeboks for me, but I gotta put them top of A tier because daddy like. And lastly, what do we got here? The Gats. The Gyats. Now you might have noticed nothing's in the S tier yet, and we only got one thing left. What do you know about it?
Psych! Oh shit, here we go again.
Wait, what? It's not in the S tier? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, there's one more, the real S tier. But before we get into that, let's talk about the Gyats real quick. The Gyats, basically the next Samba. The trendiness has been on the rise like crazy, and look at them. They look fire. The only difference between the Samba and the Gyats right now are the price. Because of the price, they're a little harder to actually get. That's why I don't see them being as mainstream as the Sambas.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else.
Well, you might be thinking, oh, then what's in the S tier? And what is this perhaps? Now you might be thinking, oh, it's just an Adidas shoe? Wrong. This isn't just an Adidas shoe. The reality is the S tier, the perfect top 1% shoe, isn't just one type of shoe. It's an idea.
What? Really, nigga?
The formula.
It's a formula. Trendy shoe plus unknown niche collab. S tier fire shoe, baby. So what this means is that if you actually want a top 1% shoe, you gotta find a trendy shoe. To a trendy shoe, they already have the social status. Then you gotta combine it with something that's fire and niche. But before I show you some examples, we're gonna go over how to actually do this. But just knowing what these shoes are gonna automatically equip it into your inventory. So how do you actually get the best shoes? First, you're gonna wanna follow pages of people, brands, and accounts that you like. So many people think, oh, but that's gonna fuck up my ratio. Bro, nobody cares.
We do not care.
You hurting your ratio isn't gonna change your life at all. When you follow these accounts, you'll be able to see when they have the newest collabs before anyone else. And it'll make up for it because then you'll have shoes that no one else has seen before. Then all your friends will be like, yo, those are sick. And then you'll be at some vintage flea market and some girl's gonna come up to you and she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, those are so sick. Like, what are those? Then you're gonna start up a conversation and then boom, 10 years down the line, you got a wife and 2 kids. That is the power of the top 1% best Sigma male high value white shoes. All it takes is just being on the lookout. Having these shoes is like that one Disney Channel episode where it's a crossover between like iCarly and Victorious when they met up in one episode, when they collabed. When your favorite YouTubers collab, that is the definition of this shoe right here. Everybody knows 2 is better than 1. That is why it's truly the best shoe. All right, let's talk about some examples here. Now, this is the Adidas Gazelle Blondie McCoys. You got 1, the trendy shoe, and then 2, the collab with the niche skater Blondie McCoy. I personally had them, and so many people have been like, yo, are those customs? What are those shoes? That colorway is sick. Another one we got here is the New Balance 2002R Protection Pack. The trendy shoe, the New Balances, then you got the collab, the Protection Pack. Boom. It's that easy. It's literally based on science, right? That's why the Boner Sambas blew up. Boom, hidden New York Asics. That easy. The Naruto Asics. But just having cool shoes won't carry the rest of your style. So in order to truly level up your swag, click here to find the best shorts for this summer.